Conflict is still Africa's challenge in 2021. For the African Union, 2020 was supposed to be its landmark year. Its Silencing the Gun initiative was aimed at ending all wars, conflicts in the continent. While no one can argue that it's a laudable goal, the continental body would have to work miracles to achieve it, especially when the trend seems to be heading in the other direction.
Conflict is still Africa's challenge in 2021. For the African Union, 2020 was supposed to be a landmark year. Its Silencing the Guns initiative was aimed at ending all wars, conflicts in the continent by 2020. While no one can argue with that laudable goal, the continental body would have to work miracles to achieve it, especially when the trend seems to be heading in the other direction. The new pattern of new conflicts bubbling up alongside existing ones. The Sahel is a region of particular concern. Nearby conflict in and around the Lake Chad Basin area has continued, even after a decade of conflict that has displaced nearly 4 million people and left millions more facing a famine crisis. Millions of youths and girls continue to bear the brunt of the Boko Haram insurgency. Some young Nigerian youths who were once victims of the Boko Haram insurgency are navigating their trauma, accepting their experiences, moving forward with their new lives, and creating lasting solutions. The Future Prowess Islamic Foundation is a school that provides free education to some of the most deprived children in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Among the students, the school also caters to the children of the security forces as well as the insurgents they battle. The school's main initiative is to bridge the gap between the political and religious divide thrown up by the conflict.
I lost my parents, both of them.
This is an exclusive story of the students of Future Prowess and how they are overcoming the tragedies that befell their families and creating an inclusive space for the community.
My name is Mustafa Bukar. I'm in Future Prowess Academy and Community Secondary School. I'm in JS2. My local government is Bama. I lost my parents, both of them. Then I could remember. Then it was one early morning of Monday. We finished praying our early morning prayers. Then we had gunshot. My father called all of us to his room. We think it was soldiers. Then but few minutes later, 3 people came into our house with guns and pushed us outside. Then they told my parents to stay and tell us to go inside. Just we are about going inside, then we had gunshot. And when we turned up to see what happened, they have killed both of them. Then myself and my elder sister and my younger brother, we saw people leaving the town in confusion. Then we trekked from Bama to Kondiga. That's 25 miles in one day. Then we come to Kondiga in one day, and we come to Maiduguri on Tuesday. Then we meet our uncle. He takes us to our grandmother's house. Then our grandmother, then she heard there is school for the orphans. Then she takes us to the Future Prowess Islamic Foundation School. That is primary school. That's primary school. Then I started my primary school in 2014. Then I finished my primary school 2019. Now I'm in JS2. It's many things. Then Future Prowess is my life. Future Prowess, they give me the education. Then the time that I come in our local government, I don't know how to read. I don't know how to speak. Then now I'm speak very well.
Parents have to allow their daughters to go to school because some, like in villages now, some are saying my daughter will not go to school because she have to help me at home. She have to go to the farm together with me. Like as I mentioned earlier, here in Future Prowess we have farmland. So if you think your daughter will go to farm, do this and do that, she can do it in school also. She can have her education and at the same time have the skill. And to help you at home, after school or before school, she can do her works.
The wind blew lazily in all directions, hurling the dust that defines the landscape of northern Nigeria, covering the students of future prowess. The students sat idly under a blackcurrant tree, peering into the sky through the leaves that shielded them from the morning sun. It has become their daily ritual to lounge around the Future Prowess Islamic Foundation Livelihood Center, where students like them have been accepted. Here, they enjoy some quiet solitude and reflect of shared experiences. Their faces are barely exposed, but their numbing fears, hopes, stories are evident in the deep contours of their eyes. Their stories mirror what many have endured through the tumultuous years of Boko Haram insurgency.
I literally grew up in Future Prowess because I started since from crèche till I graduated. I lived with all those orphans. I see myself as their sister. They're just like siblings to me. In Future Prowess, I learned that life isn't always meant to be how you want it to be. Life is different from what you perceive it to be. I saw many orphans that sometimes I cried thinking, will I ever leave? Just if I were to be them, will I ever have the courage to face the world? Because I think they are strong. All those orphans taught me to be courageous because I was just thinking life is good, perfect until I saw them. Because I saw many of them not giving up. When I saw all of them achieving all those, I was thinking that if they can achieve that, why wouldn't I? Because I'm also a human being. Just because I have both my parents doesn't mean they are always there for me. They once had theirs, and here they are. So living with them made me who I am.
My name is Fatima Muhammad Mafi. I'm a 100-level student at University of Maiduguri studying petroleum chemistry. I'm currently a member of Future Prowess because I will never say I am not part of Future Prowess. Future Prowess is part of me and I'm always part of Future Prowess. So I came to Future Prowess when I was very little, at the age of 4. And it was at the peak of the insurgency. That was 2009. I have been in Future Prowess from 2009 till 2020 when I graduated. And my stay in Future Prowess was like a life-changing. Everything that I had in mind then as a kid was that maybe I'm hopeless or maybe I don't have a future. But coming to Future Prowess, I now realize that the future is there and then I just have to reach the future. I have been able to become who I am now. Coming to Future Prowess gave me that chance. It has forced me to go forward, as in Future Prowess told me that I am not supposed to be here. This is not the particular place. I have to go somewhere just to come back to Future Prowess again. And actually I have achieved a lot. The courage and then the courage to stand and to speak wherever I found myself, I got it here in Future Prowess, and it's still in me. Through Future Prowess, I am currently a honorable member at Borno State Students' Parliament, representing my local government, but coming from Future Prowess. Because the local government is only where I came from, but Future Prowess is where I am. So, my advice for those that would maybe graduate from Future Prowess or those that are still in Future Prowess is that Future Prowess is a place for them to there are a lot here, so they have to pick everything, even if it's little, the educational part of Future Prowess. If they can get that one, it's just the best. Then the morals. If you will come to Future Prowess and spend the half of your life here, in a year you spend 9 months in Future Prowess and then just spend 3 or 2 months at home, then you wouldn't get the morals at home but in Future Prowess. So if you can get that one, it will be good for you. And then when you're asked to do something future progress, never think you're asked to do that because you're better than others or because future progress wants to humiliate you for others. No, you're asked to do something because the future progress has seen something in you that it actually wants to bring out.
So, what are you going to talk about the diversity of future progress?
Future progress is as diverse as Nigeria itself. What will you look for in Nigeria? Is it not the Hausa, Fulani, Kanuri, Yoruba, Igbo? They're all here. So there is no difference between Nigeria and future progress when it comes to diversity. I can even say it's more diverse than Nigeria because it has those from other countries that are very close to Nigeria. So the diversity in future progress is really strong. And when it comes to inclusiveness, the society is all inclusive. We have the Christian and Muslim students studying together. We have them like doing everything together, not knowing that they have something like that differentiates them. So inclusiveness is also one of the, maybe I should say, one of the standing order in future progress.
So now that we have Sumoto Boko Haram returning, what is your perspective on that?
Actually, God forgives, so why not us? I think everything that happened during the insurgency was due to some factors. One of it should be illiteracy, and then food security. If those things can be put in place, and then those that are returning are coming back for this, then they should be allowed to enjoy this. Since they are coming with no harm, I think we should still accept them. The world has a role to play. Everyone, like myself and everyone, don't think you're young and don't think you have there's a limitation to what you can do to help others. No matter how little you have, if you can contribute to a life of a kid or an orphan, just know that that thing will come, and then you'll be proud of yourself doing that. So the world can actually come down to where its help is needed and come and give the help. Dialogue. Wow. When you ask me what do I think of dialogue, I'll always say it's a tool for peacemaking. Definitely. If there's no dialogue in future progress, then I don't think I'll be here. Why do I call diversity? Why do I say inclusiveness? The dialogue is within that.
Now in its 11th year, the insurgency has driven a wedge between the people and their immediate communities, leaving behind distrust, fear, and frustration. The reality is quite obvious here. Even when the terror does end, its effect will take long to be erased, especially for the most vulnerable, the women and children.
And cause Boko Haram insurgency. If you look at
The Youth Dialogue was a program initiated by the youths of Future Progress, with the aim of reviving the broken trust and communication within the society since the 2009 Boko Haram insurgency. Since then, the students have widened their focus to intercultural dialogue, religious dialogue, educational activities that promote non-violent approaches to conflict, leveraging on inclusive and integrated education, and also intercultural learning.
if you look at most of the Boko Haram leaders, they have power. They have power and authority. They can be able to impose anybody to join them. If you look at the time when we are in our local government, the time when Boko Haram came, they just imposed our parents to join Boko Haram. So radicalism can cause Boko Haram seriously. Like my sister said that the people of Abodam, government bring them to our town is not possible. Because that, like for instance, me, I'm from Abodam. Like my father gave me many things like farm, something, a lot of things. If government told me that leave this place and come to town, if I came to town, where am I going to live? Even though government give me some way to live, I can't be able to live because that I'm not familiar with the town. That this is the reason why.
Ina nan cewa kar a bar su a cikin gari kuma kar a cire 'yan gari. There is no way mutum yana zama a cikin gari shi tun kakannin shi ka zo ka cire shi a cikin gari ka zo kuma in har ma an bar su a cikin gari wasu za su na irin su kira garin ma wanda gaba ɗaya za su ɗauki garin Boko Haram. For me ya kamata a yi creating waje like I treating nasu kamar prisoners, I teaching nasu skills yanda za su irin for 1 year kafin a bar su shiga cikin mutane.
I agree because if at all we don't agree to accept them, where do you want them to go? Is it that they should go back and then reinforce, get that enforcement that they've lost now and then come back and attack us, or we still want to like fight them? So we have no reason not to agree and accept them. We are going to accept them. Like, come and train them to be people like us and then allow them to stay with us and enjoy the peace and maybe the harmony and everything that we are having, so they can also enjoy life and then turn to a new life. God forgives. Why not command them? At least they've done something wrong. And we're always told, since when we were young, that if someone seeks for forgiveness, we should forgive that person because the person realized what he has done was wrong. So I think we should forgive and accept them back so that they also will understand how life is supposed to be.
I disagree with what my colleagues say because as if we bring them to the town, we have already forgiven them. They have the rights and values. If we treat them as prisoners, their right has been abused. They also have rights for anything.
Gwamnati la mangana kuma karabka Boko Haram mai sanar. Gwamnati na masu sero kirin zare burai karaye patirin sero amma zgana kilan zaro saku auselin bati bulga kau jau jama'a sai sauri kuma jau jama'a sai sauri wai gwamnati da sai an ga police sai bana ne an maura gwamnati da kuma
da abin da ya fara saboda kamar in an kai su prison ko kamar an yi stigmatizing nasu ne an bambanta su da yan uwansu ya kamata a basu a inda su ma su koyi halaye mai kyau za su san halaye mai kyau da mara kyau mutane ma za su amfani da su ma za su amfani.
How many people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
The main focus of the program has been intercultural dialogue and understanding, together with empowerment of young people, especially ones coming from marginalized and vulnerable groups. The recent images of bedraggled insurgents and families surrendering to the military have sparked heated debate on what the government should do with them. It once again reminds us that the war doesn't end when the gun is laid down. The students brought about innovative solutions that they felt the world needed to know about.
My name is Dr. Musa Liman, an associate professor of mass communication in the University of Maiduguri, Department of Mass Communication. I'm also the director of Future Progress Islamic Foundation, and I'm equally the Ghana Subnama Borno, meaning the chief mobilizer and convener of all events in Borno area. Now, the issue of intercultural innovation about the dialogue. Actually, the Future Progress Foundation Islamic School has been in this particular business for quite some time because since the insurgency, when the Boko Haram left, they left their children, their wives, all their relations, and they went to the Timbuktu zone, they went to Zangiza, and they went to other parts of the country, as well as other parts of the Sahel region. And the Future Progress was able to accommodate all those orphans that were left behind, and then those destitutes or those young people who lost their parents, including the wives of those Boko Haram members, because we didn't show any level of discrimination. We actually said we are for humanity, because if we allow this thing to actually to go back to things that are not normal, then we are going back to square one. So we had to look at the past, the present, and then project into the future. And in doing that, now we have done quite a lot in the areas of bringing people of various cultural diversities, various religious backgrounds, and then in trying to see them that they acquire Western educational knowledge, including the Islamic education, and then the other side of the coin. And we have made tremendous efforts. Now most of our students, some of the alumni, are in higher institutions of learning, and they are making tremendous progress. And then now we are talking about the Boko Haram members coming back to the fold, coming back, and then they are coming in their thousands. And as state actors, we are trying as much as possible to see how we can bring in the issue of rehabilitation, reconciliation, and then resettlement. And as the Future Prowess has actually sponsored my humble self and then some of our staff members to be part of the Cairo International Peace Prevention and Promotion, CIPPP, in 2017. We have gone and we've gotten capacity development in the areas of the ethos and the pathos of conflict and conflict management and conflict resolution, and how to prevent the occurrence of conflicts, and then how we try as much as possible to now appeal to the conscience of those that are being either killed, maimed, or those family members who have been actually going into a lot of agony. And we are trying as much as possible to now tell them that there is no alternative to peace. And war is not anything anybody would wish to see it occurs. Therefore, it cannot be a continuum. It must have an end. And based on that, we have cascaded that level of cultural innovation in the dialogue from the traditional institution, from the highest level, the Sheikh of Borno, his council members, all the district heads called Ajas, the village heads called Lawans, the ward heads called Bulamas, and then we are gone to the grassroots to now appeal to opinion leaders, gatekeepers, and then we have come with a new narrative to make a paradigm shift so that they can be accommodated. And luckily enough, we've actually made some major progress in telling them that in Islam, that is what we believe in, predestination. That has been already ordained to happen, and it has happened. We cannot bring back life, but we can save life. So our main focus is to now save life, and then to bring about socio-economic development in bringing the human rights to the doorsteps of each and every individual, the victims, and then the aggrieved, as well as those that have repented. In Islam, if you repent, God Almighty Allah accepts your repentance. Therefore, we appeal to their minds, their conscience, we appeal to their psyche, and then they're accepting what we are saying.
For students of the Future Prowess who are currently in their senior years in tertiary institutions and secondary school with their diverse ambitions, each day is an opportunity to reconcile with their tragedies with an undying hope that the future legacies bequeaths a better outlook than what has become of their once peaceful state.